Howdy, howdy, Frosty Fudge in here. Welcome back to Ark Raiders, and we have the 10 million Raiders Golden Hammer. So this is the message you get in game. Remember to check it and claim it so you get your Golden Hammer. It's been a hell of a ride so far. We're celebrating a huge milestone: 10 million Raiders in the Rust Belt. We're proud and humbled by all of our Ark Raiders. There's so much more exciting content to come, so I hope you stay for the journey. You're one of the first 10 million, so here's something to show for it. See you, Topside Raiders. Alright, so we got a new gold gilded pickaxe. Okay, it's gold, and also there was a nerf to the kettle macro thing. We'll see how that, what sort of impact that actually has, from 600 down to 450. And the trigger nade apparently delay on its explosion. Maybe I'll just make a trigger nade jump in, and then as well, I'm talking about the other issues, we can have a little testing of that. Probably a good idea, actually. Maybe make 3 is probably good enough. Alright, so big week obviously in Ark Raiders. I'm gonna say pocket. We can go blow something up. Yeah, we'll just go solid. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about one of the issues, the big issues, obviously. We can just go night raid, Buried City. Expeditions. So, Embark has come out and talked about a little bit about how they want to incentivize more people to do expeditions. So that's what I want to talk about, basically. So what is an expedition? You collect a bunch of resources, you get an accumulation of certain types of materials, and then I don't know if we're still going to have this, but the final phase, you collect $5 million worth of loot stash or just currency. So your entire thing is calculated. The value of all of your loot is calculated, and naturally those who've gone on previous expeditions will accumulate a higher stash, make it easier to reach that 5 million, and then when they've got all the stash upgrades from, say, 10 expeditions, they'll make that a lot easier. But having said that, they're not satisfied with the number of people who've gone on the expedition. So I'm gonna make a few suggestions, but at the same time, I still want to hear, what do you think expeditions you're going to go? Did you already, prepare for the second one? Because I've done the first one, prepared for the second one. Neither time have I reached max level. So, neither time did I collect all the blueprints. One of the things that the expedition did for me was it changed the way I perceived the game a fair bit. So, firstly, I didn't worry about losing stuff. Gear, fear is gone. I didn't worry about, blueprints. I stopped worrying about blueprints. There was a point where I was really, annoyed that I didn't have certain ones, and I was trying to find them, and I was going to do the farming, climbing around here, obviously, going to space travel, going across the rooftop, going through space travel, looting, trying to find the blueprints, and then going to parking garage and at the bottom, all that sort of stuff. All the usual routes people run to try and maximize blueprints, and sweating and farming about it. But once I had committed to doing the expedition and I prepared for it, I didn't worry so much about that, because you'll get the blueprints you get, and then the next cycle you'll get different ones, and you'll use different things. So I used different things. So my first go through, I had a Wolfpack blueprint I got from Stella Montis at night in a trash can, and that was really great. It made a lot of things a lot easier. Obviously, bastions and all that jazz, very, very, very easy. I'm gonna prick the bear. And it simplified the game a fair bit. This time, no Wolfpack blueprint. I got the Deadline blueprint, but I've never used it once. I've never even tried to use a Deadline. I still got it. I still got so many different things, weapons and items and creative stuff to try out. But I'm not sweating about it, I suppose is my point. Even though I have prepared for this expedition, and I did the first one, neither were excruciatingly challenging They took a little bit of work. It definitely helps to look up where stuff is at times, but I don't consider... I mean, we should just kill this thing. Exactly. Oh, so just one shot to the beautiful... Nah, nothing in here, of course. Distracted, of course. Yeah, I never felt... I think it was liberating to go at the expedition. As soon as I was prepared, it was, oh, I'm committed, I'm going to lose everything. So I shouldn't feel the attachment to things in a way that encourages me to not play the game as aggressively at times. To be more cautious, to worry about losing things, all that jazz. Okay, so there's like a bastion and stuff outside. Is it bastion or bombardier? Bastion. Let me just, oh, I got it. Anything good? Now, I suppose last cycle I was trying to collect the canister so I could make the patina, because I thought patina may be good, and then, you know, reality. But, you know, it is what it is with that. I think it was a very positive thing for me to do the expedition, but the way that they implemented the 5 million 5 million stash value really, really hurt. So as soon as they announced, you know, you needed 5 million cash worth of stuff, that was a major red flag to just stop playing. I was just like, well, if I go, I lose things, I lose value. So it disincentivized me playing completely. And I didn't want to do, you know, naked runs and try and get stuff and then leave. I didn't like the way it was forcing me to play a certain way. Now, there has been a couple of parts of the expedition that have sort of done the same thing. They forced you to go to Stellamontes, which isn't the worst thing in the world to make you go to a certain map. But, you know, it's just kind of like, I would rather they didn't, but it is good that they have some sort of variety in the expeditions, that each one requires different parts. And they have to keep doing that going forward. It has to always have different requirements. It just has to. There's just no... I don't think there's any wiggle room there. Sometimes they have secure locks in the roofs. Have a look around. Go on the roof. Oh, we can blow up that thing down there with the trigger nades. Good idea. Good idea. Okay, so the detonation time on the trigger nade is adjusted, and apparently the further away from you, the less damage it does. So the time is now 1.5. So there's a delay, you can see that. Okay, I've got a wolf pack, so I'm not too worried about this. And again, even if it's just shooting, it's fine, Sebastian. Let's just lure it back, though. I keep losing my train of thought. Try to keep with me here. Let me just pop that. Let's move a little bit further away. So let's just try the trigger nade again. Yeah, so it is a very noticeable change, isn't it? Okay, so it's still alive. So let's just check this wolf pack at it. Still alive! Okay, I think we hit Just wondering if we can get some chemicals real quick. There's no rush. There's no rush to kill it. I'm just thinking about... I usually like to make things. One of the things I think that needs to improve in the game, a really clear one, is the crafting. I kind of want more options. More interesting options. Someone else is distracting it, so let's shoot it. If I can get that shot in there. We just fixed it. I enjoy fighting Ark, regardless of what, you know, what stage I'm at. One of the things that's sort of changed for me is I should run it. There you go.
Okay.
Alright, so let's go see if they want to share or if we're going to get shot. Either way, it should be funny, but...
Hello there. Don't shoot. Yeah.
Alright, what do we got? I feel like this is going to take a while. I still enjoy hunting Ark. So one of the things that, obviously, the 5 million gold did was it just destroyed my motivation. But when I came back and did the expedition, my motivation was restored. I was alive again. Very happy to do it all again. Upstairs, eh? Okay, so we got a guy on the roof. Okay, got some spice going on at least. Do I have anything? I don't have anything. I could turn that into a power cell. I don't need rubber though. Okay, we can negotiate.
Hey, Raider. Hello, Raider. Team up. Okay.
It's on the roof. Yeah, we gotta go forward because he's on the roof at the back. It doesn't really matter if I get shot here, so... I mean, we're pretty cool, anyway. So they got mildly distracted, but I'm still in an exposed location. But, you know, it is how it is. I still will... At this point, I'll always take the fight. Like, regardless. I'll always...
Thank you.
Okay. We're gonna go... I mean...
Let's go to that metro.
That's fine. Whee. I'll always take on the Rocketeer. One of the things that's really, I think, enjoyable about the game is that when I came through the second cycle, this playthrough, after going on the first expedition, and losing my Wolfpack blueprint, was discovering that the secret grenade is actually pretty cool. And 15 of those or even less, is enough to kill a rocketeer. And that was good. That was fun. Experimenting with weapons and things I didn't use. Having a different experience each expedition is the key for me. And still part of it is that you build knowledge. And, you know, as you build knowledge... what are you doing? I can't even see you. You gone? Okay, we can just go under here for a sec. I did want to get plastic parts. Oh, thanks, so. Ridiculous.
Hey!
Alright, let's grab that fireball burner. I think that's ultimately what's the most powerful thing about Arc Raid is that your experience is variable. Oh gosh. And that things won't always go the same way. And I like that the addition of Cold Snap really added that variable. Okay, this is one of those funny parts where it's like people just leave good things. I don't know why they do that. Alright, magnets, definitely. I suppose the big problem with Expedition is that it's the opposite of what makes Arc Raiders good. Because what makes Arc Raiders good is just the variability, and Expedition is like set in stone, this is what you get, and then you don't get that. And it kind of, it breaks the mold of what makes the game interesting. And I think they need to look at it through that lens. They need to look at it and be like, we need to make this more like an Arc Raiders thing. And it's sometimes, you know, falling in line with what is expected, what you think is going to help, what you think is going to keep the cycle going, that the players will get bored of the game, is maybe wrong. Maybe they do need to wake up and go, the game is popular for a reason, and it's not because of expeditions and rerolls and, you know, wipes. And maybe that is just, that's the reality. Maybe they don't have to do what other games do. They don't have to fall into the same sort of ideas. They can do different things. We don't even need that. We've got so much bloody rubber. Why have we got so much rubber? What am I doing? We could break these down into... So, we can... Let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. I know there's action. I wanted to wait a little bit to give the people downstairs a bit of time to sort themselves out. I like them making Stellamontes darker in the nighttime. I feel like it could have been even darker. Like, crazy. Crazy darkness. Alright, so... Will I say hello, or should I hold back? Yeah, that's fine.
Hello?
We could fight the Rocketeer, but I've got no bombs, so it's kind of just like a pain in the ass. Oh, there's one, okay.
All right.
I just wait here, because I'm lazy. What do you think? Do you think what makes Arc Raiders special is just the natural variability of an online multiplayer experience? Or is it, you gotta have more things? You gotta have reward. I suppose reward is the question. I think I prefer if Embark tackled a reward versus necessarily just throwing out the entire expedition system and doing something different. I feel like they won't. They don't strike me as a team that's extremely motile. Yeah, that's the word, motile. But perhaps they could prove me wrong and just scrap the expedition system. Oh no, don't look. Don't look. Because, again, you want the most important part of the game is obviously PvP. You need PvP. Without that, there's no threat, there's no danger, except for the threat of Arc. So you can either mitigate PvP and then step up PvE. You can have the giant monolithic freaking huge spider creature that's ginormous. Arc has like a map in its own self, and you have to, you know, go inside it and sabotage it from within. You have more interesting maps, obviously more weather things, heat, you know, the heat wave, floods, tsunami. You could do all sorts of really cool things. I think they should still do those regardless of what they do with Expedition, but let's get back to Expedition. the thing that the number one thing that drives me insane about Arc Raiders, the thing that hurts me most is always stash. It's always back to the UI stash, and it's, yeah, it could automatically unload things, but there's stuff I don't need, like too much stuff. I always end up collecting huge amounts of things, and it's kind of a problem, but it's what the game's all about. The game encourages hoarding, and yet punishes hoarding. That's where I get confused at times. It's like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to collect things? You don't want me to collect things. That's kind of this endless cycle. I want to have a bigger stash. I must do Expedition. That's the most basic thought process I have when it comes to Arc Raiders, is I have to get more stash. Stash is such a massive burden on my brain. My OCD of collecting things. These codes, I haven't got enough code things, so it's like, why I even had that? Should I get rid of it? I look at all these stacks of stuff, and it's like, yeah, it's good, but what do I need? What do I need? I want more stash. I want more. I want to have more freedom. I want to have. Obviously, I got too much rubber parts. Just sell them. Just sell them. Don't think. Just sell them. Sell that kettle, coffee pot, and then I fill up the space instantly. I will continue doing expeditions as long as there's stash base, but there's a lot of people who won't, and they don't feel that refreshed experience because, again, there's still the negative part of, as soon as they announce the 5 million cash thing, if they do it again for skill points, I'm gonna stop playing. I'm literally gonna stop playing the game because of it. It's just, I'm glad they haven't got it on here already, but I hate it. I hate putting it to a dollar value. All of my random adventures above ground, all of it summed up as a money thing. I don't like it at all, and it doesn't really make a hell of a lot of sense because you've already constructed the pod. Who are you giving the money to? Who in Speranza needs 5 million? What are they doing with this money? I feel like there's a failure to commit to the bit on that part, and that's kind of where Expedition does suffer in terms of committing to the bit. And so it is a game mechanic. It can't fully commit. You can't fully start with absolutely nothing because you carry knowledge, you carry understanding, you get scrappy bonuses which mean nothing now but will build up and maybe mean something in future. Probably not. I mean, instead of like, what, 6, it's 8 or whatever. It's just very little. It builds up. Scrappy is my best, it's my bestest buddy and my biggest enemy because Scrappy constantly fills up your stash, constantly drives you to stuff around in the UI, sorting through what you need and don't need. It's all Scrappy. Scrappy's doing that. Scrappy is driving me mad. So I think as I do more expeditions and just get more and more currency and more things, and more stash space, it's just going to keep on accumulating. I think the stash space will only balance out Scrappy eventually. That's when Scrappy's really delivering on materials, but even so, it just hurts really. It's just always I'm always on full. Even though I got 12 more than the regular person who hasn't done Expedition, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Like, yeah, you can get rid of this. Get some oil. Resin. It's just plastic parts. You can just sell that. Gotta be spend. The more time I spend stuffing around in my stash, the less fun I'm having. That's where I'm at. I don't enjoy micromanaging my stash, and that's where I feel like reward is the most valuable thing here. This is where I'm circling around to. This whole video has come back to this one point. Stash is the biggest problem. Solve the problem. That's what Expedition needs to do. Is 12 stash slots enough for each Expedition? Should it be double? Easiest change they could do. I'm talking simple things that can be implemented that don't break the entire online system. I remember when Fallout 76 came out and the stash space was horrific at the start, and they bloody quadrupled it and quintupled it, and the game could cope with a lot more than they realized, because you're on split servers and stuff. And it was absolutely infuriating in Fallout 76, because that's a game where you have to hoard. That's the whole point of the game, is collecting things and, you know, having stuff and things you shouldn't have. It was just painful. So early painful, because it was denying the very things that made it special. And in this case, extraction games are all about collecting stuff. Getting everything out. It's like, wow, I got out with all this cool stuff, but then I got no room in my stash. It's just... I think solutions, more than just stash, Arc stuff needs to be worth way more. So each one of these is 5k Bastion cells. Simply make big Arc and all their parts worth twice that or 3 times that, and then you'll incentivize people to hunt them and have fun playing the game, because they'll realize they can get so much money. You need big ticket items that they can spend money on. I think that's the thing about Expedition. That's why they added the 5 million total value, is because they wanted people to have money serve a purpose. Because once you get over a certain amount, you don't really... I mean, you can go to the trader and buy stuff, but do you need to? Like, you got the creds now, which is, I think, whatever. But do you need to buy another hull cracker? You probably got no room in your stash. It's really... Do I need to buy another heavy shield? No, I don't care about that. I think buy another deal. I don't care. I simply don't care. I think the traders lose all value as you progress. Maybe occasionally you have a bad run, you just want to balance it out by getting something and then adding an attachment, sure. But I think Speranza itself is extraordinarily limited and is definitely room for expansion. So one of the things I would think would be interesting is if you could get new shops by investing in them, creating them, meeting new characters. You could expand Speranza and make it much more interesting. Obviously people will, you know, floated the idea of the hub. People could talk and stuff. I don't necessarily agree that that's needed. I'd rather people have those occasional experiences in game where they can talk to people. And it's just a bit more work to honestly create a hub in game. I think that's a lot of work, and I'd rather they focus on, you know, new maps and things. But if they can do it, then that's nice. A basketball court, people can shoot at hoops, like in the practice range sort of thing. That'd be cool. But back to rewards. I think the simple solution to all of these problems to encourage Expedition is to double the amount of stash they give. So you get 24 instead of 12. Super simple, but very tempting. I think 24 may be enough. If it's 24 every Expedition, that's enough to maybe people go, ooh. Ooh. And if it's not enough, I think the optional rewards is just going to create FOMO. So people choose one reward and they wish they chose the other. I don't think that's smart. I don't think that's smart at all. I don't think you should give people the choice of what they get, except for in one case. I do think I would love, not necessarily more safe pockets. I think you could have a, I don't know, this one's a bit weird. You could have a safe pocket. You could convert one of these into a safe pocket. It's still in your main inventory, but it's like got an outline box and a special effect. And the thing is, the special thing about having it is that when you're killed, you're knocked out on the ground, people can search you, they can see it. They can see what's in the spot. In your special safe pocket, your super special one that you got from Expedition, but they can't take it. So I think that would be really cool. Just funny for PvPs. People look through your stash and go, oh my goodness, they've got this awesome thing, but I can't take it. And it would just be funny. I think that could be hilarious, but it's, that's just a weird one. The other one, I like the idea of just let me stack things higher. I don't like the arbitrary stack values. So some stuff is 3, some stuff is 5, and I don't like it at all. I don't like that some things are 5 and some are 3. I prefer everything was 5 or more. I prefer everything was 50, if to be brutally honest. Because I feel like 15, but then these are 10. It doesn't make a lot of sense, and I don't like it at all. In terms of just, if everything was standardized, so all greens are 15, all blues are 5, all pinks are 3, that's okay. As long as it's, consistent. But it's not. It's not. And it's just like, why are these 10? These are 15, these are 10, these are 15. These are 3? Why are pop triggers 3? Why are rusted bolts 3? Why are these power cells 5? I know it's because of the 5 energy shields, but still. It's bloody common. It's common and it's 5. And these are all 50. Why isn't this 50? Yeah, I want the option. If we do options, I want the option to change the stack size. So I want to be able to go power cells. This arc alloys is a great one, power cells too, but arc alloy, I want stacks of 100 of arc alloy. And that'll encourage me to collect more of them without feeling punished for collecting more of them. And also encourage me to kill more arc. So that's a very simple idea. Obviously, you have a choice. So I'd love it if you could just pick an item you like collecting, or you need for whatever you're going to make, and you can collect 100 of it as in one stack, as opposed to 5 in a stack. Or you could pick like a purple thing and be like, I want to stack like a 50 Bastion cells. And that way you can get your accumulated 5 million net worth a lot easier, because you're not worrying about your total stash. You're not worrying about filling your stash every 5 minutes. You're like, oh, I've got a free stack. I can stack something really big there. That could be something really interesting with choice. And people choose something that's maybe out of there. Maybe they choose like seeds and have like a stack 1,000. I don't know how high the stacks can go in terms of the UI stuff. Maybe it can go to 1,000. Maybe it can go to 10,000. I think like things like rubber. If you have stacks of 500 rubber parts, that would certainly improve the stash situation, and you wouldn't necessarily need to give players more stash if you can just stack things higher. This is something I think will change. This is quality of life that I think will change as the game progresses. They will look at these and go, people are collecting a lot of fabric. Maybe just let them stack it to 100 or 200. And then people like instantly, they go back into the game and go, oh, I've got stash space. I wonder why that is. Oh, I can stack it higher. Just little quality of life makes everyone feel happier. Obviously, you can't do it with bullets. I understand that. Maybe you could do more. I mean, why some are 40, some are 80. Medium is 80. Obviously, trying to be like super special and, there is no physical weighting to any of this that makes any logical sense, so there's no immersion breaking. You can run around with 50 stacks of metal. Makes no sense. It makes no sense. Logically, the backpack makes no sense whatsoever from any immersion point of view, which means you can break it in any way you like. Bloody spring cushions should be stacks of 5. That's just stupid. The rubber pads should be, oh my goodness. There's so much that you could argue, oh yeah, it breaks down. No, it still doesn't make any sense about the stack sizes, and that drives me mad. It always drives me mad because stash is such a big issue to me, and it's because it's every game, every single match you play, you have to deal with your stash. The weirdest thing is when I get knocked out out in the above ground, I still have to worry about stash. It's like worse when I get knocked out. I come back and it's even more full. It doesn't make any sense just because I got safe pockets. It's like, it drives me mad. It drives me mad. And the solution is Expedition. So, we depart. We either get double the stash if we're going to make any change now to try and encourage people to go on Expedition. Then it's double stash amount in my book. Or you give them options of rewards. I don't necessarily think that that's going to happen. I feel like that's just... They'll look at the negative side of that, which is that people choose things that they regret. And they don't want people to feel that way. But then people went on Expedition and regretted it. I'm sure some did. That's just, how it is sometimes. Gah! Okay. Tell me what you think. Do you think it's totally reasonable? Just double the stash. Just give us double stash. How about you go on an Expedition, you get 100 stash slots. Then people are going. Everyone's going then. 100 and everyone is taking the Expedition. Every single person will agree to go to Expedition if you say it's 100 stash slots. Guarantee it. Now if it's keep your blueprints, I think that goes against the point of Expedition, but I could see it doing a really good job of keeping people playing. Yeah, that's where I'm kind of like, yeah. I can't even remember how to bring up my blueprints. See, that's how little I care. That's how little I care about blueprints. I do like them though. I think it's good to have, aspirational things that I'll never build because they're shit. I mean, Tempest is apparently good. I don't know why I'd ever build it though. I feel like the risk reward on building expensive weapons is just not worthwhile. I feel like I'd prefer to build a Torrente than any of these, even if it's not very good in some circumstances. It's just more entertaining. I do think, this probably makes a lot more sense in terms of the way that they've created. I mean, if, some of these augments were as expensive as some of the weapon blueprints, I think that people would never ever use them. Like if it cost you Exodus modules to make some of these, they'd be dead. So, yeah, I mean, it's so strange. There's a lot of things in the game that look like they make a lot of sense, and others that don't make any sense whatsoever. Like, I never have a speaker components, but a photoelectric cloak is actually nice. In some circumstances. Not all, of course, but... yeah. Like, who would... I had one matriarch reactor, I used it for Expedition. I use everything valuable for Expedition. I throw everything I have in the 5th phase. I just throw everything I have in there. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm okay with blueprints being reset. That doesn't bother me at all. It's just, I mean, stash upgrade progress does piss me off. Having to get the 200k after all the other money amounts to build it back up again is kind of like, eh. But it doesn't take long. But it's just, it's not the nicest thing in the world. Skill points, I don't think matter to me much at all. This is one thing they could also do, is they could do the skill stuff. They haven't reworked the tree yet. We'll see if they do. I mean, as long as you get, youthful lungs, marathon runner, anything else is irrelevant. You can do whatever you like with anything else. Like, I got the security breach. I got it last time as well, just because I hate having things that I can't open. Having a cupboard that I can't open is just devastating, so I have to get it. And then it's just running. And then, of course, grabbing faster breach. Just because it's barely any, but it, you know, better than nothing. Huh. Alright, I rambled on and on. Showed you the trigger nade. I didn't show you the kettle though, but it's fine. I can't do macros anyway on console. I ain't got nothing on that. Oh, we also got the Abyss set. So one day I think they'll have okay cosmetics. I kind of understand some of their philosophy around them is that they don't want anything to be like pure, really hard to see in the dark. I guess light vest off. Flippers? Okay, no flippers. Canister. Obviously off. Although it looks okay, but your arm is clipping through it, so I'm not going to do that. I guess you have to go green. Green? I don't like the colors. There's not enough colors on a lot of the on the gear sets. I don't see it. Like I don't feel like buying any of their cosmetics. I think they're all mid. The only one I got was a bit of Leviathan set. I did get this one with the currency from the decks stuff because I thought that was actually interesting. But the pants are terrible, and they reuse the pants and other things, but the pants are so bad. I like this version. This is nice. I don't like this one has the 8 on the head, the 8 ball. But I like this one, even though it stands out a lot more. I feel like I like this one. Okay, so enough about cosmetics, but I don't get the backpack stuff. Whatever. Yeah, they'll keep trying. Maybe they'll get some good ones eventually. Who knows? I don't get it. Yeah. All right. What do you think? You agree, disagree? Agree the video was way too long, but disagree. Just give us double stash, Stace. Just give me double stash. Give me more stash. That's the solution. Give me more stash. I need more stash. You got any of that stash around? Madness. Also, the key rooms are crap. They need to buff them again. Yeah, let's be real. I mean, yeah, I know it's RNG, but I think there should be a blueprint in every single key room, even if it's not a good blueprint. Just at the bare minimum. Yeah. Yeah, peace and chicken grease. Alright, it's been Frost about 10, just rabbiting on and on about how to make Expedition better with gameplay. Testing Trigger Nade, looking at the new thing. We got the update for the kettle thing. Maybe that'll stop the kettle macro spam. People being upset about that. And yeah, what do you think? Do you think stash is enough? Do you think people need more meaningful rewards, changes to Speranza, actual meaningful changes to Speranza that make you feel like you're a part of this underground society, at least? Because I don't really feel like I'm that much of a part of it. Like, we can't even ride the carousel that's right there. I feel like there's so much of Speranza that's completely inaccessible and irrelevant, and I kind of wish it was slightly more relevant. It could take time, but maybe that's part of the vision, maybe not. Just more maps, I suppose. It's enough, really. You just say more maps. You got the one near the crater. So there's the art photos of the one near the crater. And there's one with water, I suppose. We can have like a... Oh, it's down the bottom there. We've got the Trias. Decimare, the bottom right. Yeah, I mean, they could do more stuff. It would be pretty cool. We'll see what happens. We'll see if they can course correct on the expedition, and and get more people to join, because I think it is good for your experience, not in the short term from once you get hit by the $5 million goal, that kills you, but afterwards, when you come back after the expedition, motivation is restored. So I don't know if it's that healthy for the game at times, but it certainly brought me back. That's what I'll say. So I do recommend you go on it, but then again, maybe they'll change rewards if you don't. So if you continue to if the player base continues to not want to do it, then eventually Embark will buckle and they'll make concessions. So maybe that's the answer. Strike! Strike against it! The union of players striking against the corporate overlords. Yeah, I mean, if their MTX were actually decent, maybe they'd make a bit more money if they were that obsessed about money. You know, I mean, they sold 12 million copies. Be happy with that, but it's never enough. You know, it's never enough. Never enough from Nixon. Okay, so before I do our 10 rambling, catch you next time. Bye bye.